use what you know to find out what you need to know. First thing we're going to talk about is you're going to have some of these are just some of the ones that you're going to be seeing. It's going to be customary in the length. You know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, and that 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. For the weights, 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces, and 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. In volume, when we're talking about measuring things like in cooking, we're talking about 1 tablespoon is equal to 3 teaspoons. 1 fluid ounce is equal to 2 tablespoons, and this fluid ounce is different than this ounce. This is a weight, and this is an actual measurement, a 3D type of measurement. Then we've got 1 cup is equal to 16 tablespoons. 1 cup is also equal to 2 fluid ounces. That should be fluid, not FT. All right, so this is fluid ounces, which are going to be the same thing as 1 fluid ounce equals 2 tablespoons. So I've got 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces, 1 quart is equal to 4 cups, and 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. This you're going to have to memorize. Customary units just means what we use here in the United States. So how are we going to use proportional reasoning in order to set these up? Well, we're going to set up what we need to know to what we know. And we're going to start looking at some problems that are not necessarily as easy as the ones that we got over here with our customary units of measurement. I want to know now how many feet are in 1.5 miles. So I'm going to set up what I want to know first, and I'm going to set up miles to feet. So I'm going to set up 1.5 miles, and I'm going to keep my miles and my units in here to make sure that I'm keeping on track with what's in the numerators and what's in the denominators, is equal to, I don't know how many, this is what I'm trying to find, feet. What I do know is that with miles, I know that 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. Okay, and I'm just going to keep the feet in there just to keep me from miles to feet, miles to feet. Now, I'm going to do exactly what we did when we were talking about proportions. I'm going to cross multiply. And I know that x feet times 1 is just going to be 1x, and x is going to equal to whatever 1.5 is times the 5,280. And when I get that, that answer is going to be 7,920 feet. Okay, so this is the answer by cross multiplying. So I know that here 1.5 miles is going to be 7,920 feet. Okay, do another one. We've got 6 feet is equal to how many yards? So I'm going to put 6 feet to, I'm trying to find x yards. Okay, and I know that there are 3 feet in my customary units to 1 yard. Okay, so 3 feet equals to 1 yard. This is what I'm trying to find. This is what I already know. So now I'm going to cross multiply, just as simple as that, and say 6 feet times 1, that's going to be 6, okay, is equal to, what is x times 3? It's going to be 3x. Well, what do we know? We know that we are multiplying 3 to the x, so in order to get rid of it, I need to do its inverse operation of division by 3, and I know that when I divide 6 by 3, that x will equal to 2. So I know that 6 feet will equal to 2 yards, okay? Now we're going to look at quarts. I know that in 1 quart I have 4 cups, okay? So I know that, but I want to know how many cups are in 5 quarts. So I'm going to say 5 quarts is equal to how many quarts, okay? X quarts, that's what I'm trying to find. And I'm going to make it equal to what I do know, and I know that there are 4 quarts in, let's see, I know that they're in quarts and cups. I know that there are, in 1 quart, there are 4 cups. So in 1 quart, they're going to be 4, wait a minute, let's see, these are cups. Sorry about that, that's what was throwing me off, 4 cups, okay? So I've got quarts to cups equals quarts to cups. When I cross multiply, I know that 1 times 1 is going, x times 1 is going to be x is equal to and I know that 5 times 4 is going to be 20. I'm not going to worry about the quarts and the cups in this case. I'm just looking at the numbers. So I know that when I cross multiply that 5 quarts is going to equal to 20 cups. Now I've got 2.25 pounds, or 2 and 25 hundredths of a pound, is equal to how many ounces? I'm looking for pounds to ounces. And this is what I don't know, so this is going to be X ounces, is equal to how many pounds do I know, or how many ounces are in 1 pound? I know that in 1 pound, I have 16 ounces. So when I cross multiply, I've got X times 1 is going to be X equals 2.25 times 16. And when I say 2.25 times 16, I am going to get 36. So I know that in 2 and 2.25 pounds is going to equal to 36 ounces. Okay? And that's how we are going to be using we're going to take our customary units and try to convert them into what we don't know by using these customary units that we do know. Let's do a couple more. All right, and we've got one little word problem in here. We're going to look at 3 cups is equal to how many tablespoons. So I'm looking at cups to tablespoons. And that's what I don't know, so it's going to be X tablespoons is equal to 3 cups. And up here, these are going to be cups over tablespoons, okay? Now, what I do know is that in 1 cup, excuse me, in 1 cup I have 16 tablespoons. So when I go to cross multiply, and I'm getting all of this from the chart that you filled out in the very beginning, I'm going to cross multiply these, and I know that X times 1 is X is equal to 16 times 3 is going to give me 48. So this is going to be 48. So when I'm looking at 3 cups, how many tablespoons am I going to have? 48, because I know that 16 times 3 is going to give me 48. Okay, with the 18, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 48. When I'm looking at inches to feet, I don't know what this is going to be. So my first proportion is going to be what I do not know. I don't know what 3 inches is and how many feet it's going to be. All right, so I do know that inches are smaller units of measurement than feet, so this should be a smaller number than 1 foot. So I'm going to look over here at inches. What do I know about inches? How many inches are in a foot? I know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. Okay, so now I've set my proportion up. Inches to feet is equal to inches to feet, and I can cross multiply. And when I do that, I know I've got X times 12 is 12X is equal to 1 times 3 is 3. And when I have a 12 by the X, that means I'm multiplying by the 12 to the X. I've got to divide by 12. And when I do this, I know that X will stand alone, and I've got 3 12ths. Well, that is a fraction that I can reduce. So I'm going to reduce it down to 1/4. So I know that 3 inches in a foot will equal to 1/4 of a foot. Okay? So if I were to take a ruler and divide it into 4 different equal sections, they would be 3 inches apiece. Number 7, I'm looking at cups to fluid ounces. And I don't know why I want to put a T with these L's, but I do. That's fluid ounce. That is how much you can drink of a liquid. So I know that I'm trying to find 10 cups is equal to how many fluid ounces. That's what I'm trying to find. What I do know is that in fluid ounces, 1 cup is going to equal to 8 fluid ounces. So 1 cup will equal to 8 fluid ounces. Okay, so that is what I know from the measurements that I got from the very front page, from the table. I'm going to cross multiply, and when I do, I know that 1 times X is going to give me X, and I know that 10 times 8 is going to give me 80. So that tells me that in 10 cups, I'm going to have 80 fluid ounces. Now, let's read a little problem and set it up. It says a typical SUV weighs about 2.5 tons. How many pounds is that? Well, first of all, I need to know, what is it? I've got 2.5 tons over how many pounds? That's what I'm trying to find out. I don't know how to solve this, but what I do know is that in 1 ton, okay, in 1 ton, I have 2,000 pounds, okay? So all I need to do is cross multiply, and I know that x times 1 is just plain x, and I know that 2.5 times 2,000 is going to give me 5,000 pounds. So your SUV, if your parents have one, is going to equal to about 5,000 pounds. That is a very, very heavy car. All right, let's try some on your own. And what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you work these out. I'm going to give you a second to work these out. What I want you to do is pause your video for right now, work these out on your own, come back, unpause the video, and see if you got them right. I truly want you to try these, because if you do not work these out on your own and all you do is just wait for me to give you the answers, you'll never learn how to do this on your own. So please make sure you do it. Remember, you're setting up what you don't know is equal to what you do know. You were to use the table that we filled out in the very beginning, the very first slide that I had. You were going to fill out that table, use those measurements to set up a proportion and solve these problems. So go ahead and pause your video and come back and you can check your answers. All right, I know that 2,640 is 1/2 of a mile. I know that 36 yards is going to give me 108 feet. I know that 1.5 quarts is going to give me 6 cups. In 96 ounces, that will give me 6 pounds. In 4 cups, I'm going to have 64 tablespoons. And in 72 inches, that will give me 6 feet. And in 6.5 cups or 6.5 cups, that is going to equal to 63,360 fluid ounces. All right, so that's going to equal to fluid ounces. Our next one is a parachute falls at a speed of about 12 miles per hour. How many feet did the parachute fall in 1 hour? Well, the first thing I'm going to look at is I know that this has got to be what? 12 miles per hour. So I've got 12 miles per hour. So I know it is falling at 12 miles every hour. How many did it fall? And how many feet did it fall in 1 hour? So I'm going to come over here and say 12 miles is equal to 1 hour. The same thing that how many miles did it fall in? That's what I'm looking for. How many miles did it fall in X over how many hours? And then we're looking for 1 hour. And this is not right. Hang on. If it falls at a speed of about 12 miles an hour, so 12 miles to 1 hour, about how far did the parachute fall in? How many feet did it fall in an hour? So I need to know feet. That's what I'm looking for. I'm sorry about that. All right, equals. So I need to know how many miles are there. I know that how many miles are there how many feet are in a mile. I know in 1 mile, there's going to be 5,280 feet. That's what I'm looking for, feet, not the miles. So miles to feet is going to equal to miles to feet. So when I cross multiply, I've got 1 times x is x, and 12 times 5,280, you should have gotten 63,360 feet. So the parachute falls, how far did it fall in feet in an hour? 63,360 360 feet in that 1 hour. We're going to be doing some of this tomorrow. We're going to be talking about recipes. A lot of time that's when you have to convert stuff, and we're going to be using proportional reasoning to do that. So make sure that you study over this. Make sure if you have gotten a little rusty on your customary units that you go back and you review those and learn them so that you can use these in the problems that we're going to solve.